the other day I did a live stream where I said, "Oh, maybe my final mix of this combination, this mashup of Mood Shift and Mongo Fogo." And it was almost, but there were some issues with that mix. Some things, some timing things, and there was too many effects on that lead guitar. I went a little crazy with the effects of the guitar, and anyway, so I cleaned all that up, and I think the mix is exactly what I want it to be now. So, and the other thing I noticed that when I watched back that video, I kind of brushed over this idea of this how I submix things and get them ready for mastering. So basically, I submix everything to like one stereo track of guitars, one stereo track of percussion, one stereo track of keys. You know what I mean? But in reality, I've got 4 guitars on this track, and I've got 3 or 4 keys on it. You know what I mean? So that's what, and a whole bunch of percussion. So I submix it all down for them. So I just wanted to show you how I do that. So what I do is, so I've got these are like, let's say, and then I'll do the drums too, because the drums I record MIDI, but I record them with pads. If you watch the videos, you'll see me play these drum pads I have over here. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Let's do the guitars, shall we? So the guitars, these are the 4 guitars here. Guitar 2, Guitar 3, and Strat. They all have various effects and such on them, or none. The Guitar 2 came from Mongo Fogo, which I've already submixed, so it's already got all of its effects on it. Anyway, the point is, I want them all to go to a single track. I want all the guitars to be together in a single stereo track, and that is this one right here. It's going to be the guitar bus. So right now, if you look, you'll see the output. This is the output on the track. See, output, right? But the output is not set to the default speakers. It is set to bus 11 and 12, right? And if you go over here to my guitar bus, right, my input is bus 11 and 12. So anything I send to, because this is when I created the track. Let me show you that. When you want to create a bus in Pro Tools, when I do it anyway, this is how I do it, right? I'll go into create a new track. I'll say stereo, because I'm creating a stereo bus. And then I say, instead of audio track, which is the default, I change it to aux input. And then I give it a name. And in this case, I did guitars bus. And you'll see what I do afterwards, that I give it some guitars bus, and then, well, you'll see. When I commit it, then I'll call it a different track name. We'll just call it guitars, and that's what Kilo actually gets. So there you go. So that's what I did. So I created the bus input, and I set all my 4 guitars that already have their sounds all configured. You can see these are it's got some wah-wah fuzz and compression and stuff like that. This one's actually got this stuff muted. I had too many effects. Let me get that out of there. No insert there. I had too many effects on one of the guitars, so I took them off. But now it's just got this R channel. R channel's nice. It's a waves. I think it's waves. I always forget. Anyway, it's good stuff. They have R vocals, R channels, R what is it, Axe or something. And it's just kind of a lot of nice presets with EQ and compression and other, mostly EQ and compression really is what's on there. Anyway, and then a little more EQ there. So, and then the Strat is my Stratocaster over there, right? And I think I'm using the Sans app. Yeah, so I just have the Strat going clean in. I have a tube pre, so like I wasn't going in the amp on that one. So I went into this Sans amp plug-in and picked a sound. It was some bluesy, a BB King sound, and I kind of tweaked it, to make it sound like I wanted. Which is kind of funny because the BB King didn't play a Strat, but it sounds good on there. And this is just the compressor. So there you go. So I've got all those effects. I got all my sounds. I got my EQs and all that. And I've got my 4 tracks pointed to bus 11 and 12, which is the input on the guitar bus. So all I do at that point, and this is the neat thing. And see, if you look, there are no sends on here. Because the only sends I use when I'm mixing these things are the reverb and delay. Keep in mind, I send it to Kilo, and he does mixing after. So he might not even use my reverb or delay, so I send them all to their own track, and I'll show you that in a second. So, but anyway, but there's no send. I don't have the reverb delay on the individual guitar tracks because I know I'm sending them over to this bus. So once I've got everything the way I want it, I actually just go to the bus and I say commit. So if for instance, if I wanted to do that to one of the tracks, if I went and said this guitar commit, right? I'm not going to do it because I don't want to do that. But if I did, it would basically freeze the track with the effects and everything on it, and take all it frees up all of the resources that track is using trying to run all these different effects. It processes the audio with the effect and then just makes it a wave file. Even if it's a MIDI file and I do commit, it'll turn it into a wave file and add any effects that I had on it. So anyway, but if I do that with a bus, right, it does it sort of all across the board. So all these tracks here, right, that are going into this bus are going to go, and when I say commit, it'll play, basically it just plays the song, but doesn't, and then commits all of those tracks to this bus as they would be. That's how it should work. So let's see. Here, I'll show you on the flip side of this, right? On the other side here. So there's no audio there now. Guitar bus. See? These are the guitar tracks up above. Bop, 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 bop. See, they don't all play at the same. There's 4 of them, but they play at different times. That's why there's 4 of them. And there's also just a combination of 2 songs. Anyhow, so there's no audio there now because it's a bus. But when I say commit, I think I just figured this one out on my own years ago, and I mean, everybody probably knows it, but to me it was revelatory. There you go. Now my guitarsbus.cm, which Pro Tools puts it on there because I committed the track, or committed. So anyway, now I've got all of my guitars processed with their effects and everything on this bus as a single wave file. So what I can do now is I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 of those tracks. I'll say hide and make inactive. And now, in this one, right, I'm going to just, that's why I changed it. That's why I called it Guitars Bus before, because I wanted to just, when I send this to Kilo, the mastering engineer, he'll get a file that just said, he'll get one of the tracks he gets will be a wave file, a stereo wave file of all the guitars on the song. It's just already processed everything. There you go. So now let's listen to it, shall we? There we go. Excuse me. All right. So I'm just going to skip through because I want to hear the different guitars, right? So that's the Strat right there. That is my... That's this guy. All right, so and all of this right there, that's Mood Shift. That's the first of the 2 songs. And that one's in E minor, right? Anyway, this is my main guitar. So this play this for probably, if you watch the videos, you'll see me play this one most of the time. That's in the studio anyway. Live, I'll usually play my Strat or a Les Paul or a Tele, but because it's easier. It's easier you can bang those around and not get a lot of feedback. And also that thing's kind of funky with the strap. It doesn't stay on. That thing comes on. So it's a pain in the ass live, unless I'm playing like a chill out acoustic gig or something where I can just sit down with it and then I can play a little jazzy shit. Anyhow, I digress. That is the guitar. So I wanted to hear, there are 4 guitar tracks on this song. They're all here in this one now. All processed and everything. And this is the cool, I'll show you the next one. This is cool. That's cool, because that's 2 different songs that bled into. I love that right there with the guitar, the chord. I think I just strum like I'm in B minor there. I'm doing a B minor 7th, and I strum that B minor 7th backwards right at the same time as a splash cymbal. It's nice. Here. I guess it's probably a crash. Whatever. Love this. I think it worked. So, oh yeah. All right, that's cool. Beautiful. See, this is another guitar. Yeah. I fixed this. What's he do? I'll show you that. Why not? Why not? So let's see. See this here? Sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I had this section of electric piano here, right? Is that what I'm on right now? All right. Where is it? Oh, it's here. Here, this section. Now that is originally, that's how it was played. That's the actual recording of it. But I thought I was being clever, and I was like, oh, I'll fix it, like, because it might be a little off, right? And man, I fucked it up, but I fixed it. I went to an earlier version of the track, copied my original keyboard part, and kept it, because you can see here. So like I zoomed in on it and I looked. I was like, oh, this kind of sloppy there. What if I just tighten all that up? It was a terrible mistake. So, but I fixed it. I fixed it by putting my sloppy trot back in. That's a human being. Man, when I cleaned that up, it just became this like it was terrible. But this, that's a dude playing. Right on. So that's a guy playing piano right there. All right, so anyhow, the guitar submix works. So now we'll do the same thing with the keys. How about that? Keys, bus, right there we are. Bus, three. They're all in kind of weird places. Let's put them all in one logical spot. Here we go. Well, right after. Is it? Where's? Isn't there? There's MF organ. Motherfucking organ. MF is for Mongo Fogo. Are you there, MF organ? Where are you? Where are you, MF organ? Where are you now, my friend? You should be right there. Why are you a wave? Oh, I already did that. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so excuse me. The outputs of those, it's just those two tracks there. So it's this electric piano and MF organ. So and the reason it's a designated is that, so electric piano is the main instrument in Mood Shift, the first half of the song, and then the organ. It's actually got an organ as well, but you'll see it listed here as MF bass because I'm playing the bass line on the organ there. So I'm not going to submit. That is a good point. I'm not going to submix the organ, the bass organ, with the keys, because I don't want it to be EQ'd with the keys, right? I want it to be EQ'd with the bass. So I'll probably I'm going to see what it looks like and sounds like when I submix it with the actual live bass that's in the other half. We'll see. I think I might do it. I wasn't going to do that before, but now I think I will. Anyway, keys. So I've got electric piano and organ, and I'm going to say and this is, so same thing, right? The output is bus 13 and 14 on the electric piano. That's this guy here. And then the output on the organ is 13 and 14, and that's the organ. And then the input on the keys bus D, for some reason, is 13 and 14. So that means that anything that these two tracks play will be filtered into this aux input track called keys bus D. So what I will do then, as I did in the previous track, I'll commit it, right, as I did with the guitars, and I'll trust that I did it right. So I will hide and make inactive my original tracks. That's the nice thing about these things. I'm not really destroying anything. I actually, this is the second time I've done this. I did this previously and then listened back and didn't like my mix and did it again. So you can, I didn't screw anything up. If I did, I can unscrew it. So let's see. What you're talking about already exists. So I already have a track called Keys because things. So I'm going to get rid of that track. I'm going to just delete you. See you later. All right. Thank you very much. And then this will be keys. So there we go. We've got our guitars and keys submixed, right? And then oh, what's this one? It's a delay. Oh, I see. Okay. Forget about that. Let's submix the percussion. How about that? So the same. We're all set because I say, it's like a cooking show. I set this up ahead of time. I say that every time. 15, 16. The output on so these are my percussion tracks. Udu, that's the jar bell, doom. That's this guy. This guy's the Udu, right? This is the Udu, and he's the guy that does. And then, so, anyway, I use them sort of as a kick and snare, that doom dank. So, here you go. That's the Udu. And then I've got cowbell. You know what a cowbell is? Shaker, too, for some reason. And djembe is that drum up there. If you can see it, let's see. This guy. This guy's a djembe, and which is, I don't really know how to play it. I mean, that's basically all I do on this song is that right there. And so I'm hitting with that and then do this finger thing because I saw somebody do it on a YouTube video one time. But there are some people that really know how to play these things. I'm not one of them. So the percussion is Udu, cowbell. I hear you. It never selects multiple when you want them to. It's Udu, cowbell, shaker, and djembe. So we're going to take that. We're going to say commit. Right? Yeah. There you go. Boom. Now, confidently, we will hide and make inactive and then say percussion. A lot of percussion, so we'll know right away if it's not there. How do I? Come on now, you know. They was telling me I already had a track name, but that one could just go scratch as far as I'm concerned because we got this guy going on now. All right, percussion. There you go. So now what do we got? We got guitars, right? Keys, percussion, reverb, delay, and then I got MF, delay, and MFA. So let's combine the delays because that just makes sense, right? This one doesn't seem to have anything in it anyway. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I'm just not going to concern myself with it, to be honest with you. That's really kind of where I'm landing on this. And I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to say... And again, I don't really care about what delay is on there because clearly I cared here, so it must be a big part of it. So we're just going to keep that. But the rest of it, I don't care because I don't care. What is this? Big delay on the guitar. That's cool. All right. So anyway, so there's that. And then the bass. What do we want to do? Okay, so we can hide and make inactive the motherfucking delay here, right? All right. And then this last guy, bass. So I've got... Oh, wait a minute. Where's my other bass? I got rid of... I got to get my other keys back. Mood. Oh, shit. Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? Where's that bass coming from? Maybe it's just hidden. No. Where is that coming from? That's insane. Okay, I'm losing my mind here. All right. Okay. Let's just turn it around here and see where it's coming from. It's like not visible. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, okay. Ah, mystery solved. I had the bass. The bass track was muted. It was hidden. It was active, but it was hidden. So it was like playing, but I couldn't see it. So anyway, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take and combine those two basses and see how it goes. How about that? Oh no, I'm not. Nope. No, I'm not. Because one is stereo and one is mono, and I want to keep them that way. Or do I want to? Yeah. Because that first one's pretty groovy, like stereo like that. If you listen, see. Yeah, you don't want to lose that. But I don't want to go turn in the other bass into. So that's why we're keeping them separate. So that's okay. Let's just say commit, and we'll call it bass 1, and the other one we'll call bass 2. We'll call it bass verse. How about that? And it's just instructions to Kilo. You know what I mean? Like when he gets it, he'll see, oh, this is the bass for the verse. That's the bass. And we'll just call it bass. And it's not really a chorus. We'll call it bass bridge. How about that? Let's see. Shall we? Bass verse, bass bridge, right? Looks good. And I was right. Yeah, mono and stereo. So there we go. All the tracks have been dumped. Now, to make them stems, this is the, oh no, see now I got to do the drums. Okay. So this is what I do with the drums. So as I said, I record the drums MIDI. I play pads. I play them live, but they're MIDI. So what I end up with is a single MIDI track, but that's no good if I want Kilo to mix it like drums, which I do. And among other things, he's a drummer, so he knows about mixing drums. So, you know, I like to give him a drum kit, even though I played it on pads. So the way I do that is I isolate the, so what do you got here? I don't play a lot of drums, right? So I got like a kick drum. I got hats. I don't even think there's a snare in this song. There might be some, might be like a rim shot or something, but I don't think so. I don't think there's a snare. So it's just like, it's like maybe 3 drum tracks, right? So I'll have, what I do, I'll show you. Take my MIDI track and I will duplicate it 3 times, right? So I'll make 3 because I know I'm going to need 3 tracks. There's no snare. So I need kick, hi-hat, and cymbals because I hit some crashes and splashes and I keep them separate from the hi-hats. So I'll give Kilo 3 drum tracks, not the 1 MIDI track, and there'll be audio tracks. So here you go. I go and duplicate them. Then I'll take the original one and hide it, make it go away so that it's not, touched at all, if I can find it. All right, let's do it this way. Drums, thank you. Okay, so hide and make inactive. And I'll call this one kick MIDI, and I call it MIDI because it is, and because when I commit it, I'm gonna want to just call it kick, and I'm gonna need that name. So hats. MIDI, right? And then cymbals. And again, I would have like snare and toms, except there are no snare and toms in this song. It's just kick, hi-hat, and some cymbals. So that's what I got. So now, but right now, really, each track is identical. So I have to go and delete the, that's what I do, is delete the stuff that isn't the stuff, right? So I go into here, go into the MIDI editor, and here's my kick. So I know everything else is not the kick because I only have the 1 kick on it. So I just go and scoop it all up and see you later. But I don't think that's the whole track. I think that's just the first half. So let's go. I'm wrong. That's the whole track. So okay, cool. So now I just have a kick here. See? So low. Oh, and now I got some other tracks soloed. Whatever. Don't worry about it. That's the kick. So then we're going to go here. And we'll do the same thing with the hi-hats, except that's the wrong key. All right, there we go. So we know this time we want the kick out of there, right? That's a hi-hat. We want to keep that. That's a hi-hat. That's a hi-hat. And then everything else is a cymbal. So now I know when I get to the cymbals, everything above that. And there's crashes and splashes and maybe a ride or two, but it's okay. Ride can just be ride right along with the others there. All right, so that cymbals, right? And then no, that was hats. So I got kick, I got hats, and now I want cymbals, and that's this guy. So we'll go here, and I just delete everything that I just kept from the other tracks. And then boom, look at that. I got me a track of cymbals. So now I will and I had, what did I have? I probably had something on the drums. I had, I just again, I just use real oh, did it keep everything? Oh, look at that. Kept the EQ. That's nice. So yeah, so I don't even have a compression on there. I just have, I will actually put a track compressor on the kick. Let's see what it sounds like. How about that? All right, let's try that. Sounds bad. Sounds bad. Don't need it. Let's just leave it as is. All right. So I'm going to commit each of these tracks. Again, it's going to Kilo, and then he masters it. And he'll put compression on if needed, and then master it. Obviously, there'll be compression on the master. So, I don't really need to do that. It sounds good. That's what matters. And then I give him a track that sounds good. So, kick, commit. And hats, commit. And that really is my whole entire philosophy about recording, really, is get tracks that sound good. You know what I mean? Like, if the original track sounds good, your end product's going to sound good, So just always get a good sound first, and then you're not trying to polish a turd, You can't polish a turd. It's words of wisdom right there. All right. Cymbals. Okay, so this is done. So I've got all my tracks. I've got my bass tracks. I got my kick, my hats, my cymbals, my guitars. And I got to look at this. The last thing. Oh, see, I should have done this. Okay. Kick. I want the kick and the, all right, and the hats to be mono. But when I do what I just did, they actually default to stereo. So I got to switch them. Let's go back here. All right. And we'll say kick. Right? See, the kick's in stereo. I don't want the kick in stereo. I want the kick. So I can go to the track, the stereo track, and I can split to mono. And then I end up with 3 tracks, right? So I always keep the left because that's sort of old school, I guess. I don't know. Left is mono. And then I will hide and make inactive the right and stereo tracks. So then I've got mono, and I call that kick. And I'll do the same thing with the hi-hats. Cymbals I will keep stereo because, but the hats you want to be able to control. You want to point the hat somewhere. When I give him the Kilo, he mixes it like a drummer is playing the drums. So he'll put the hats a little bit over here, a little bit of snares here, and you know what I mean? Ride goes over there a little bit. So that's why you don't want it in stereo. So you can move it around. All right, so let's see. And kick you want right in the middle because it's the kick. It should be boom, boom, boom. Should be hitting you right in the heart there. All right, split to mono, and then do the same thing. I will get rid of the stereo and right tracks. Right, hide and make inactive. I don't delete anything. I'm gonna say hats. And now because I use the left, I have to go back over here and I have to straighten them out here. You see that? First, it defaults that to cranking over to the left. That's funny. All right, so now I've got my everything. Let's listen to it, and then I will dump the stems, and then we'll be done for the evening, I'd say. What do you think about that? What am I doing? Where's my transport? Let's listen. Shall we? Where's my transport, man? Come on. All right, there we go. All right. This is the end product. The day before I dump the stems. That's what it sounds like. That's awesome. That's great. Okay. I'm very happy with that. So let's do the final dump here. Let's see. And make sure every track is in the same type of track. So these are all Pro Tools trickery, right? Um, anything that was a MIDI file will be set to what's either you tell Pro Tools how to treat it, like either as samples or ticks. I'm not really even sure what the hell the difference is, but I guess audio or digital really. So if you change, everything's got to be samples when you want to go dump them. And any of the MIDI, anything that was originally MIDI, like all my keyboard tracks and my drum tracks, I played them live, but they were recorded MIDI. They're they default to ticks, so you got to change them. So anyway, so I'm scrolling down and I'm looking, making sure all my tracks are the same type of track. They seem to be. I'm gonna squeeze it all up, not that way. Squeeze it all up so I can see it all in one space here. Right there, you go. That's a big track there for no reason. Let's kind of wrong one again, Bob. Okay, that looks good. So this is the whole song. So what I want to do to dump the stems is I have to consolidate the audio all together. So I get to the end there. Now come on, you know why you gotta be? Oh, I see. Because that's why. All right, there we go. Okay, So we get to the end there, grab the whole thing, and we say consolidate clip. And I'm guessing I mean, based on the term consolidate clip, I'm assuming we're telling Pro Tools this all travels together. It's all one song. I don't know why it doesn't know that to begin with, but anyway, I guess because it makes it see if you look when I did consolidate clip, it made everything the same length for one thing. And that's obviously important because once I dump these out, what happens is this becomes, well, how many tracks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10 tracks. This becomes 10 wave files. So Kilo will take them. I work in Pro Tools. He works in Ableton. So he'll actually take all these tracks, import them into Ableton, but because they're consolidated, they will be in time with each other. They'll be the right length and everything. So that is why we do it. Anyway, and it's smart enough to know that it doesn't let you do the export without doing that, or it won't export the tracks unless they're consolidated together. So that's what I've done. Now the keystroke here on the old Macintosh computer is a Shift Command K. If you got a Windows computer, it's Shift Control K, I believe. I mean, I have one of those over here, and I've done it many times on that too. So yeah. And then I just got to pick, and what that means, that's exporting the track. So you can see it opens up the export dialog box, and then I just got to choose a destination. So I've got a Google Drive folder that I put these things on when I send them to my friend, my young friend, Mr. Kilo House there. So let's see, working. What order is this in? What is working? And then I'm looking for Kilo 2026. There we are. And then this is a new one. So, and you get a peek at some of the other new ones that are not yet maybe done. This one is mood shift / Mongo. Let me do a slash. I don't know. Fogo. Like that makes any less sense. All right. There we are. Okay. So there's my folder. Oh, wait. No. Wait. Choose. I want to say stems. Right. And I'll also, I forgot about that. I'm glad to remember. I also will send him the MIDI files. I won't in this. I do when we're doing, like, we're collaborating, where we're mixing things. Like if he's going to take, like, I'll give him a bass line. If he's going to use on one of his songs, for instance, I'll give him the MIDI too, because then he can go and tweak it. But this, he's just mixing my track, so he's not going to want the MIDI. So, stems. So there we go. Boo. He will when he wants to remix it, though. He'll say, I want to remix this, and then he'll ask for the MIDI, and that'll be fun. All right, so I'm all good there. Everything is good. I say export, and I should now, when I go to that folder, I should have 10 wave files, right? Why you gotta be like this? Why? Just why is it like this all the time? All right. Whoa, working. Kilo. Why is everything confusing? All right, let's see. Kilo. It's just I think it's a lot of shit there. That's what's up. All right. Where to go? Mood shift, Mongo Fogo. Stems. Hey, look at that. How many you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. There we go. So now I have my stems. I'm going to send them over to Kilo. He's going to import them in Ableton, do his wizardry, and master the track, and then it'll go on the new album, Samsara Blues. Maybe I'll release it as single. I've been very slow with this album, but I've put a couple singles out. Maybe I'll put this one out too. We shall see. In any case, thank you. Have a lovely evening, and rock on.